Record. Okay. So what I would like to say up front is, please, if you have a question, feel free to ask it. It's okay to interrupt me. Also, I'm looking, I think if you open on your taskbar, if you open participants, you'll see, I believe, some options for you to, I thought there was a little way to raise your hand there. Does anybody see that?
Yes.
Okay.
It's at the bottom of the participants.
Okay. I have so many things on my screen that I think I'm a little crowded here. So you can also put something in the chat to everyone or just to me, and I will do my best to address it. Sometimes I get going though, and I might not see the chat. So I will do what I can to make sure that I keep an eye on that. And then I think we will get going. So, okay. So we're going to do some welcome and introductions. We're going to talk about why you are interested in nursing, some of the career opportunities, what's involved when we do our advising, how to apply, some of the resources, and a little bit of information about financial aid. So, as far as introductions, probably I think most of you have met me. My name's Carol Martin, and I am the Allied Health Advisor. So I advise pre-nursing, EMT, medical assisting, CNA. I also advise students who are planning to transfer to four-year institutions in any major. And I see that Linda is on the line. Do you want to introduce yourself, Linda?
Sure. Linda Molino, and I'm the Allied Health Director, and I am covering for Crystal until she joins, who is the Nursing Director.
Great. Okay. And I don't think there's any other staff on the line. Is that correct?
Melissa is on, and yeah, Melissa's there, and I think that is all I can see.
Yes. Okay. So we'll let Melissa, we'll let you be incognito unless you want to say something.
No, ma'am. Thank you, though.
Sorry. Okay. So I was going to do a super cool little word cloud here, but I just couldn't pull it together in time. So we're going to go old school, and I would like for you to actually unmute yourselves and talk. So I would like to know why you are choosing nursing. Anybody want to be brave and unmute themselves and say why you're attracted to this profession?
I'm choosing it because it's my calling.
Your calling. Wow.
Calling.
That's deep. Does anybody else feel like that?
I can relate to that as well.
Yes, definitely.
I recently went through cancer, so that's kind of pushed me and urged me to be in the field.
That's what did me. My grandpa had cancer in his back, and the doctor was actually really nice and let me help him, like stitch him back up and everything. And that was the thing that pushed me to want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was having a baby, the doctor came in and told me I needed a C-section.
And I said, okay, sure, let's get this thing out. And the nurse came in and said, I don't think you understand your options. And I ended up not having a C-section because she stood there and advocated for me because I don't speak medical.
Wow. That's great. Okay. So what strengths do you think that you are going to be bringing to the study of nursing? So you're going to be in nursing school. So what strengths do you think that you have that you're bringing with you right now?
I personally can't wait to be a test subject. If you guys need to poke somebody, I can't wait. I know that sounds crazy, but I cannot wait for that stuff.
I'm excited about that too, Allison. I'm ready to get in there and
The
yes,
bigger the needle, the better.
right.
Oh, good. You're all crazy. Okay, good.
I'm excited to poke other people. I'm okay with
Oh,
that.
good. You're my best friend.
You guys, I hope you're all in the same cohort because you're going to be a great group.
Cross our fingers, ladies.
Well, another part is making people laugh. You know, when you're sick, it's good to have a goofball around too.
Yep.
So, I mean, I hope we're all together
Absolutely.
too.
Yes.
Great.
So I currently work at a hospital. I'm here now. So sorry if there's background noise, but I truly love it. I love my job, the patient care. I'm on light duty right now, so it really sucks not to be in the rooms caring for patients, but I enjoy my job and I just can't wait to move on to nursing.
Great. Great. Well, you are all very inspiring. So what do you think is going to be challenging about nursing school and or being a nurse?
Time management.
Mm-hmm.
Caring for difficult patients, patients that don't want to be cared for or don't want your help.
Having to know things well enough to that so that you can explain it to somebody else, like not dumbed down, but like to a way that somebody who hasn't been in nursing school understands.
Mm-hmm.
I think taming my reactions. Ew, gross. Oh, that's nasty. You know, things like that.
Luckily, we all wear masks now, so it'll be moot.
It'll all be in the eyebrows.
Since we started wearing masks, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many things I've been like, thank goodness I wear a mask now. It's
Exactly.
not like getting in my mouth.
Exactly. I actually had a patient throw up in my mouth.
Great. Okay, so it sounds like we have folks in the room who already have some experience caring for patients. So
Yes.
nobody really mentioned that, but that's definitely a strength that particular group is going to be bringing. All right. Any last comments before we move on? I want to thank you for participating. Usually when I ask people to talk, they just don't want to say anything. So I appreciate that you're talkative. So I'm going to ask Linda to talk a little bit about why you should do nursing at Oregon Coast Community College.
Okay, I'm just going to see if, I just wanted to make sure that Crystal hadn't joined us because I thought she could do it.
Sorry.
So, no, that's okay.
We
It's all
could
good.
come back if you want.
No,
Okay.
it's good. Well, and then we can get her perspective. So I have been in nursing education since 2000 and since 2007 at Oregon Coast Community College. And both are different colleges as far as size and how many students they've taken. I think our program is amazing in that we are small. We are a small county, we're a small college, but we're a mighty college and we are a mighty program. We take in 20 students for Lincoln County, and then we take in 8 students for Tillamook County. And so when you are having those kind of small classes, you're your relationship with your instructor becomes so solid because you really have time to learn all the skills, all the theory, and you get a true sense of what nursing is about. And then because our hospitals are small, we can't put a lot of students at a time on the floors. For those of you who work at Samaritan North Lincoln or Samaritan Newport, you know that. And so what we do is we find other clinical environments for you. So when you graduate from our program, you have a solid, what we call medical surgical background, but you also have a real sense of what community nursing is, because you do home health and hospice, you do corrections, you work at the Siletz Clinic. I mean, there's just a variety of areas. So even if you want to work in the hospital and that is all you want to do, it doesn't matter that you have all these experiences, because these experiences get you to know the county better and what your patients need. And so when a patient is being discharged that you're taking care of and they're going on hospice, you actually know what that means. You have gone out with a hospice nurse, so you can reinforce the benefits of hospice or home health. So we have an amazing lab, and people say it. We have a lot of benefactors who have given us incredible equipment for a small college. And so you do a lot of hands-on care right in the lab. So yes, I think the college is wonderful. There's not really, I can't think of any negative. And I think our program is very solid, and it prepares you for that entrance into nursing. And also our community providers, whether it's Samaritan or Siletz, they always want to hire our nurses. And so you will go out there and you will be mentored by students that have graduated from our program. Anything else?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Any questions for me? No? Okay.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. Maybe after.
So I see that Janelle has her hand up. Did you have a question, Janelle?
No, that was when you were showing us how to raise our hand.
Okay. All right. So it's kind of cool. So I get to click to lower your hand. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So yeah, anyone who wants to ask questions, feel free to do that or just chime right in. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the nursing career. And I'll tell you, I have absolutely zero background in nursing. And so all the information that I got is from the Oregon Career Information System. And the URL for that, it will be at the bottom of each of these slides. And Oregon Coast Community College students have a password that you can use. If you want to log in, the password is CIS Sharks. If you want to do some exploring. And so when it comes to working conditions, you know, you can expect that you're going to have a lot of interactions with people. And you know that, those of you who are currently working in the medical field. And I think, like Sharon said a little earlier, you know, one of the challenges is dealing with maybe angry or patients who might be upset or confused. But you'll also have lots of really positive interactions. You'll be responsible for the health and the safety of patients, and then you're often going to be placed in conflict situations. And I just can't imagine right now, you know, with COVID, it's been really hard for families to accept that they can't visit their loved ones. And I would imagine that makes the situation much more stressful for nurses if you're interacting. with them. And so working conditions, you probably already know. Physically, you're going to be exposed to a lot. And there's lots of PPE now that is going to be standard. In the past, not so much. You can see this guy is pretty much got the full meal deal on almost there. Usually you're indoors, really near patients, doctors, and you all know you wear what you need to wear. So one thing about being a nurse is being precise is really important. And that's sort of why I think nursing school is so rigorous, is to really make sure that the people who leave our programs are the best in the field, right? And because the stakes are so high when it comes to caring for other people. Looks like there's some repetitiveness in the job, but also it's the kind of a job that you also have a lot of autonomy. So you're making decisions on your own, not necessarily with someone right there to ask, is this okay? So as you go through, you'll find that you will be more and more confident if that's something that you're not so confident about. So set schedule usually, you know, a standard 40-hour week, although nurses, and those of you who may know more about this than I do, nurses tend to work a block of days for long hours, and then they have a block of days where they're off. So in that regard, it can be sort of flexible, and that's why nurses can work and still continue their education if they want to go on for a master's or a bachelor's degree, because they have those blocks of time where they can study. And yeah, nights, weekends, and holidays, because healthcare is a continuing need. It never goes on vacation. And then, of course, being on call or asked to come in and work short notice. I don't know if you can see that. The wages for nurses in Oregon, it's not bad, you know, in the 40s once you're established. If you decide to go elsewhere in the US, you might be able to get higher. But if you look at an entry-level registered nurse, $74,000 a year. Whoops, didn't mean to switch to him quite so quickly. So nursing is a job, it's a demanding job, and it takes a lot, but the pay is really good, and you can pretty much go anywhere. You'll have a job anywhere in any state in the United States. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about the employment outlook. So what do you all think the employment outlook is for nurses? Do you think there's a large need for nurses? Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine
More
COVID helped us
now.
out a little bit with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 10-year growth is projected as very fast, annual openings very high, and these statistics are pre-COVID as well. So you're going to be going into a field where you know, you're likely to get a job. You're probably going to get snapped right up, which is great. Also, you have some opportunities for advancement once you're through nursing school and you start working as a registered nurse. You can advance beyond that. You can get a BSN, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. And that is something that it's an online program. Lots of universities have them. And they accept the Associate of Applied Science in nursing, and they may have a few other prerequisites that you would need to fulfill. And then you can get admitted and take some additional coursework, and then you have a bachelor's. And I would really recommend to everyone that you would want to go on to get the bachelor's, because just like every other field in the US, the education requirements, bless you, salute, it's taking more and more education, you know. So in my particular field, people used to be able to just, you know, come in and do it. Right now, they say you need a bachelor's to do what I do, but actually, if you don't have a master's, you're probably not going to get in, right? So all of these professions, the entry education level is going up. So if you have the bachelor's, you'll be able to more likely to be promoted if that's something that you want to do, to supervise maybe other nurses. Also, really a management level, you would want to look on to looking at a graduate degree in nursing or health administration. So also, if you want to be a nurse practitioner, nurse midwife, nurse somebody help me say that. Anesthetist.
Anesthesiast.
Anesthetist.
Anesthetist. That's a hard one. So you may you need to go on and get some additional education if you want to specialize in some particular areas. All right, I hate that picture, but that's the one on the website. So all of you, I think, has already met with me, unless we have a few students from the high schools who are on here who haven't met with me yet. But basically, the deal is someone who's interested in the nursing program would apply for admission, and then you would schedule an appointment with me. We go through everything, get you set up for pre-nursing, and then every term that you enroll at Oregon Coast, you'll need to schedule an appointment with me. And you can also schedule anytime you want. It doesn't have to be just to get cleared. If you have something that you want to talk to me about, you can schedule an appointment with me. And the way to do that is on the website. And you just go up to student services there, advising appointments, and then you just select, you can see there's all my contact information, and then you just select my schedule, and you can get right onto my my calendar. And then as far as where, right now everything is Zoom. As of today, I am back at home for 5 days a week. So I was on campus there for only, 3 weeks. Also, if Zoom doesn't work, we can do phone, and Newport campus someday, but not now.
When applying to the, actually applying, it asks for what term. So I don't actually go to Oregon Coast Community College. Do I just select a term in order to be able to make an appointment with you, even though I won't be registering for classes?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't know how far forward you can put how many terms. You can select terms in the future.
I think when I was on there a month or so ago, it was only 2 terms ahead. So it was
okay.
spring.
Okay. Yeah, you would just pick one then. The main reason that I want you to apply is because that gets you into our system so that when we meet, I can document our conversation in the system and we have you there. Plus, I put you in a little group of pre-nursing students. And then when I have a message for pre-nursing students, I'll be able to pull that group out and send you all an email. And then when you actually do come, we'll just fix the term, you know. So, okay, good question. Any other questions? Okay. And sorry, I'm getting distracted by messages. Okay. So, for the appointment, the first one, for those of you who haven't done it, I know most of you have. If you have transcripts from another institution, you're going to want to send, it's great if you can send them to me in email before the meeting, and then I'll look at them and I'll be all ready for you when you log in. And then we talk about what you want to do, what your goals are. We'll get to know each other a little bit. And the first meeting, we always talk about math, reading, and writing, because every class that we offer has a math, a reading, and a writing prerequisite. And so you can't register for anything unless we've had that conversation and I go in and put your math, reading, and writing level in there. And then I set you up with an orientation if you're new to the college. If you are a seasoned student, you've been to other schools, then orientation is optional, but I always recommend it too as a way to figure out how our systems work, as far as the nuts and bolts of actually registering. So by the time we're done, you should know how to navigate the nursing website, because the nursing website has a ton of information for you. I explain how the point system works, and we're going to talk more about points in a couple minutes. I'll let you know what prerequisites are needed and what classes that you should register for in the upcoming. So that's the results of the advising appointment. And then this may look familiar to you. I also fill out, this is an academic planner, and I'll fill out with you the courses that you're gonna need. And usually we do a full 1.5 years to get all of the prerequisites mapped out. And the reason that we do that is because Oregon Coast is such a small institution that we often offer classes only once a year. And so if we don't map it out ahead of time, you could lose time if you're not in the right class, the right term. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. That's from working at home. One of the joys and dangers of working at home. Ah. Okay. Hopefully that won't be too bad. All right. So the academic planner also, you can, I send it to you so that you have it, and attached to it is the prerequisite worksheet where you can go in and you can add up your points. You can put your points in there and it'll add them up for you. So this particular planner, the name is Susie King Taylor. Does anyone know who Susie King Taylor is? Nope. Okay, I didn't either. Susie King Taylor is the first African-American woman to serve as a nurse in the Army, and it was during the Civil War. So I was going to add a slide with a picture of her and everything, but I didn't get time. But it's kind of fun to look and see at the history of nursing and who have been nurses, and it can be kind of inspiring. Okay, so outreach. I would like you to reach out to me if you have a question, and it can be about anything. And I will, if I don't know the answer, I will refer you to the right person or get an answer for you. If you're struggling, academically, I would like to know, because I can get you set up with some resources. And the earlier I know, the more successful we'll be, especially with finding tutors, because sometimes it takes a while to get a tutor. If you're comfortable with letting me know, I want to know if you're struggling financially. And the reason for that is when you come to school with all of your other responsibilities in your life. And one of the main reasons that students drop out of school is finances. And so if there's anything, if I know about it, I might be able to find some resources for you, or get you set up, with financial aid, or doing some exploring with some other financial options. And then I want you to reach out to me if you just, you're not sure, you want to make a career decision and you just want someone to listen and run it by. That's what I'm here for. I'm going to reach out to you just to check in often. Also, there's something here called early alerts. And if you're in a class and your professor notices that you're not showing up, or you're not doing really, really well, they will give me an alert, and they'll say, hey, can you check on so-and-so? And so I might give you a call, and that's when we would have some conversations about what's getting in your way and how can I best help remove any barriers that you have to learning. Don't be surprised if you get phone calls, and that's because we're a small school. At a big school, that's just not going to happen. If you're struggling, you're going to probably need to sort it out on your own, but we really reach out and we try to be proactive. Also, I try not to send emails that aren't worth reading. So if you get an email from me, it's probably relevant. I will reach out to you in that way. And then also in Canvas, which is our online learning module, there is a class in there called X-Advise. And really all it is the advisors have just a little mini course in there. And mostly what I do is I put announcements in X-Advise. I also put in all of the important dates so that it shows on your calendar in Canvas. So if you're not currently attending, this will make sense to you later. Once you're enrolled in a course and you log into Canvas, you'll be able to see that stuff. Okay, some of the resources. So if you're taking a writing course, we have a writing lab that is through Zoom. We also have writing tutors that are pretty easily set up. We have a math lab that's in a Zoom environment. The tutoring, I already told you the way tutoring works is I can connect you with our tutoring coordinator, and she will try to find another human being who has the time and the expertise to help you out with your course. And it would probably be over Zoom as well right now. The library has put a lot of their resources in Canvas now. But they also have study rooms that you can use. So if you're studying, if you need some time away from a noisy household, even though we're not having classes, the campus is open and you can go in and use the library rooms. You just have to, there's a little sign that says it's clean and ready to use. And after you use it, you flip that sign over so they know to come in and clean. So it's COVID compliant. And of course, the faculty and the nursing, once you're in the nursing program, the faculty are so helpful, and they assign mentors for you. You'll have a faculty mentor. And then also the nursing director is a great source of information and knowledge. We have a new nursing director, and she just came from us from the Samaritan Hospital in Lincoln City. So she knows tons about the field. If you have questions about the field, you can talk to her, or academic issues. We also have a student government, and certainly welcome you to join the student government and serve. You do get, I believe, some help with paying for your classes if you become a student government representative. We have a diversity and inclusion committee. If you're interested in equity issues, we really would love to have students on that committee. Financial aid staff are here to help you navigate that system. The bookstore to get your books. And then our dean of students, right now we have an interim dean of students, and then we have a new dean who will be starting in January. And the dean of students is like the top student advocate at the college. So when you have an issue that's getting in the way of your learning, the dean of students is someone that you can talk to and who will advocate for you. Okay. Any questions? Is Wally in the screen? I can't see my dog.
He keeps popping in.
Yeah. Okay, so we're only going to talk a little bit about financial aid. So every October 1st, the FAFSA opens up for the following year. So right now you would be applying, filling out your FAFSA for fall of next year, a year from now. So if you haven't done your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, you would go in and you would do this year, which is the 2021 year, and then you could also apply for the 21-22 year at the same time. And you'd be kind of late for this year, but you'd be good track for next year. February 15th is the early bird deadline. And I don't remember what the extra cash is now, but I think if you apply before then, you have an opportunity for a little bit more funds. And then a March 1st deadline for fall of 2021. I wanted to specifically just do a little plug for the Ford Family Foundation. They are a foundation that offers scholarships for single parents. They have 3 different types. And the reason I like to plug it is I had a student once who was a single parent. She got the Ford Family Foundation scholarship, and they paid for her 2-year degree, her 4-year degree, her master's degree, and they were willing to pay for a a PhD if she even wanted to go that far. So I really recommend that you check out the Ford Family Foundation for funding. Also, when it comes to applying for scholarships, you want to think about documenting now your school, work, and community activities, because those applications often ask about that. You want to be able to keep track of that so you can say, yes, I volunteered here, or I did this. And that makes a better application when you have all of that stuff documented. Also, this really long URL here, that Oregon CIS, which is where I was showing you all the information about the nursing career, and it has the login that I told you about. They also have a page of scholarships. And as I was looking through all this, I realized that when you go to, there's a website called OregonStudentAid.gov. And when you go there, it has a link to apply for the FAFSA. And then it has a link to apply for OSAC scholarships. And they pretty much have compiled all the scholarships that are in this Oregon CIS also. So that that deadline for the OSAC scholarship, oh, I just lost it, what I was going to say. Oh, you fill out one application and there's about 500 different scholarships that your name goes into that pot. So I really recommend you go to OregonStudentAid.gov, and if you haven't filled out the scholarship application, please do, because it's definitely worth your time. And then I wanted to give you the contact information for Leighton Spence. He's our financial aid specialist. And normally he would be here with us, but the college right now is brand new at doing financial aid, and they're super busy getting financial aid set up. So his time really is being spent getting our current students some cash. All right.
I have a question, Carol.
Okay.
Because it looks like the program, the estimated cost is about $30,000. Is that because I don't qualify for financial aid? So I was just curious, is that payable per term, or is that for like, are you able to just do it like in a chunk, like a sum, or how do they want that?
When you that listing, and I don't have it up, so I'm going from memory, but I'm pretty sure that includes all of the prerequisite courses that you take before you even get into the nursing program. And so each term you're paying a chunk of tuition. So all of that tuition is broken up into different terms. Does that make sense?
Yes. So the actual cost for the program is going to be, I'm just trying to get an idea of what to let my husband know, as far as like if, you know, if I got into the program, like how much it would be, and if I needed to pay all up front, or if I'm paying per term.
You're paying per term. And there could be some upfront costs as far as supplies like scrubs, stethoscopes. But your cost of tuition is per term and your books are per term.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Carol, it's Linda, and I just wanted to clarify something. So when you look at the cost sheet, and it is on the website, what Carol was saying is absolutely true. What we do is we say for the entire nursing program, so that includes all the prereqs. So if you've done your prereqs, then you eliminate that cost. So each term runs you, I don't have it, I can quickly figure it, or somebody who's really good at math. We charge $143 per credit, okay? And each nursing class is 12 credits. And then you pay $106 for what we for a program that's called Kaplan, which is integrated testing. But you're paying for 12 credits a term. So if we stay constant at 143, then you know what the cost is. And then what I want to be really clear about is that if you're not eligible for financial aid, there might be other resources. Carol went over some of them, which are not, it's not financial aid, but it's actually scholarships. And then also WorkSource, which is connected with the Department of Human Services. They have a branch both in Lincoln City and Newport. It's called WorkSource. Their goal is to get people into healthcare careers, and they work with the college really closely. And that if you got into a nursing program at orientation, we would give you that information. But also, if you're trying to kind of figure out what's the cost, one of the other really good resource people that we have is our administrative assistant. And Vicki knows a lot about the community resources, and she can kind of help you to figure out, okay, should I go to WorkSource and see what their funding is? But basically, you're paying per term is for 12 credits, okay? So right now we're at 143 between tuition and fees. And then you have to get scrubs and you have to get a stethoscope and, and some equipment. And one of the really good things about books is pretty much, there might be an exception, is pretty much you buy your books at the beginning in fall term and they last you for the entire 2 years, okay? There might be one book exception to that, but that's it. So you are not buying books every term like you have to do for your other classes. You pay up front. It's usually about $1,000, give or take. And then that's it for 2 years in the program. Does that help?
That helps a lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So it sounds like the first term, roughly $3,000 for tuition and books. And then after that, just under $2,000 a term for your tuition.
Except that's correct. And I really wanted you to, really take hold of what Carol was saying about the scholarships. You cannot be eligible for financial aid and still get scholarships. And there are a lot of scholarships. And what we try to do is anybody who applies, when we hear about a scholarship, we post it on the website, but we also send it to you. So, so that you're aware, because sometimes we hear about scholarships before our student services department does. So, and don't ever think, I'm not eligible. Write the letter, get your references. You never know what you'll qualify for. And especially for Oregon Coast Community College scholarships, because that's separate from financial aid, as far as qualifying. Okay, back to you.
Thank you.
And Carol, I just wanted to let you know I have to jump off in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So if anybody has questions after you finish what you're doing, that would be a good time for me.
Okay. All right. So have them contact you after, you mean?
Yes, either that, or do you want to just give, instead of continuing, do you want to just give them 5 minutes to ask me questions?
Yes.
Okay, I hope I know the answers, but we'll see. Oh, come on, this is a good time. Ask the director,
You wait till I have a question. Do you wait until you're accepted into nursing before you apply for scholarships, or do you apply assuming you're going to be accepted? And then if you don't get accepted, what happens to the scholarships?
Okay, so that's a very good question. If it's an Oregon Coast Community College scholarship, and it's not for only the nursing students, you apply. And my recommendation is you apply, because then what happens is we send the list. There are some scholarships that you might be applying because you say, I'm an incoming nursing student. And if you're accepted, then, they put everybody in the kind of the separate pile for incoming nursing students. And then as soon as Crystal sends the list confirming these are the people we've accepted, then they consider you for those scholarships. But there's a whole bank of Oregon Coast Community scholarships that have nothing to do with the nursing program. We give out a lot of money. Well, we don't. The foundation gives out a lot of money every year, and there are many donors who don't some are very interested in nursing students, but some just are very interested in community college students. So you can apply for a scholarship and they'll want a confirmation from us that you've been accepted, but that's easy. But get the application in. Don't miss those deadlines.
I would add to that, don't just ignore your fall school plans during the summer, because I noticed this last summer that notices went out for some scholarships during the summer, and they were asking for people to confirm yes. And so you don't want to get one of those emails and not reply and then come back and realize that maybe someone else got that scholarship because they responded. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I also too had a few more questions, sorry. So do you guys do interviews at all after the application or with the application, or is it strictly just whoever has the most points is who gets in?
Yep. We do not do interviews. We did them. We've done all kinds of things besides points, but we might be doing an admission exam. An admission exam, but we don't know. It's on the application. We're going to see how COVID goes. Okay. We really don't want to bring, 40 students on campus to take an entrance exam if our COVID numbers are so high. So we're waiting. Okay. But that's the only thing. And we have done interviews. We have done a variety of entrance exams, but we're not going to go back to interviews. And so points are the absolute priority. And in case you haven't figured it out, the science points are it. Okay. So A&P 1, 2, and 3, microbiology, and then nutrition. Those are worth 20 points each for an A. And a lot of times they're a decider about whether a student gets in or not. Okay. You still have to have all the prereqs, because otherwise we can't consider your application. And then your arts and letters and social science is what makes up the others. And those of you who have CNA points, who have their CNA and have been working as a CNA, those are really valuable points. And then whether you have taken, and I'm assuming I saw applications, I'm assuming, Carol, that's the next thing you're going over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll let it go. But if you're trying to decide, should I be a CNA? Should I take my CNA certification? Remember, you have to have 1,040 hours as a CNA to actually be eligible. So that's a great question to throw to Crystal or to Carol about what should I do? Does that help?
How many
Yep.
people get in that haven't taken courses at your guys' college or at the Tillamook to get those points?
The only thing you're missing is the college points. So you get 2 points a course up to 16 for taking points here. But if you're a wonderful student and you've gotten A's, you have absolutely a great chance. I would say, given on a given year, okay, that 60% of our students are Oregon Coast and the rest are outside of Oregon Coast. And that can change. That can go to 65 and 35. But you absolutely have a chance. Where are you taking your courses?
Chemeketa.
Perfect. We love Chemeketa. Great program, great director. We're a smaller program. We're really good. So we have great hospitals. They have great hospitals. And that's the other thing. Apply to a couple of programs, okay?
So the other question I have is, so on the application, it says select one as to if you're applying through the Tillamook one or directly through. Is there a way that you can do both? Like, would I have to fill out 2 applications to apply?
No, but we want you to apply to one, because if you are selected in the Tillamook group, then you are doing all your clinicals in Skills Lab and online, going to Tillamook Bay for classes. So we really want to reserve those spots for the people that live in North Lincoln County and in Tillamook County.
Great. Well, I'm going to be moving there probably, but either one would work. Like, I'm willing to drive no matter what to go. So I didn't know if there was like a better one to select?
Nope, you can be. So think about this, 20 students in Lincoln County and 8 students in Tillamook, and we get less students that apply in Tillamook. So, you could have a better chance up there. Kind of depends. You never know. But
Okay.
when you get to that point, we want to make sure that you're living north, because that drive is not pretty, especially in the winter. If you're still living down here and you're having to drive to Adventist Health for clinicals, that's not fun. And in the spring, you get behind a tractor and you're going to be there for a while.
So how many people on average do you turn away per year? And then if we're denied, do we just like sit on our hands for a year?
Yeah, and that's why you want to apply to more than one college, okay? And yes, you would have to wait out, make sure you finished all your classes. And we usually get about 2.5 applications for every spot. Sometimes 3 applications for every spot. So yeah, you have to, if you don't get in, then you apply next year. Apply to more than one program unless you live in Lincoln County and you don't want to go anywhere else.
I'll add to that. If you don't get in the first go around, the next time you apply, chances are you're going to have more points because of that 3rd anatomy and physiology class in the spring. So most people aren't going to have those points. And so you would have that. That's an advantage. The other thing is, if the timing is right, you could do a CNA course, work as a CNA, and get those points the next time around also, depending on timing.
Can I say something about the CNA thing? As a CNA who's worked in a hospital, I can tell you that the nursing students that I've worked with that were CNAs were much better at managing their time and setting priorities. And they already had patient care experience. And I think that was a real asset for them. Most of the nursing students that didn't have any kind of experience in healthcare seemed to have a little more challenges.
All right, so there's the plug for doing the CNA first. Any other questions for Linda?
I was just wondering what the pass rate was for the program.
We run about anywhere from 85% to 95%, depending on the year.
Perfect, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, I'm gonna cut out, and I apologize, but I have another meeting. Would you make sure that they, Carol, that they have Crystal and Vicky's email? I'm sure you have it in the PowerPoint.
I do, yes.
They'll both be really good resources, okay?
Okay.
And then if there's anything they can't answer, they'll send it to me, okay? All right, good luck, everybody.
Thanks, Linda.
You're very welcome, bye.
All right, so we'll go through the application. This is taking a little longer than I expected, so I hope it's not that you're all still doing okay out there. And if you have to leave, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and do that. So for the application, you do need to apply twice. The first time you apply is just to the college so that you're in our system, and there's no cost. And, you just need to have a high school diploma and meet with me and look over the transcripts. Then when you're actually ready to apply for the nursing program, the application is on the nursing website. There's a $200 application fee. We already know it's based on points. And then there's some supplemental items that are required after you've been accepted. And that's that test, that admission test, HSRT test, a background check, a drug test, and proof of your vaccinations.
So that test, like I know Shemeketa's program, you do a test beforehand and those points go on your application. So your guys' doesn't work that way. The test is after you already are accepted.
Yes,
Okay.
there are points for it, but it's like a second round.
Oh, so do you guys accept more the first time, and then after you do that test, you get the final group?
You know, I actually haven't experienced that. It's too bad Linda left. So the way that it worked before was, I'm pretty sure that, okay, I'm going to have to find out and tell you instead of trying to guess. But I think that there are a group of people, more than 20, who would be eligible to take the HSRT test. Then after that, it would be narrowed down to 20. But you wouldn't want to go deal with the HSRT until you are in communication with, until you've applied and until somebody tells you that you need to do that.
So it's when you're being considered. They get a group of considerables and then you move on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm really hopeful that they won't require it this year, but for now, we'll see. I guess the flip side of that is if they do require it, it means COVID has gotten better. So that would be a good thing. Okay, so this may look familiar to all of you. These are the prerequisites. And you'll notice that the anatomy and physiology 3, microbiology, and nutrition are actually not prerequisites to be considered for the program. So the reason it's good to know that is so you can take these after you've applied. But in reality, the only one that people typically take after they have applied is biology 233, because they can't until, because of the way the schedule works. If you really want to maximize your points, you need to get as many of these done before the application deadline, because, that's worth 60 points there out of 150. But that's why it's split up. When you look at the website, it shows that you could conceivably take microbiology and nutrition while you're doing nursing, but nursing on its own is really rigorous, and to have to try to take those as well is not a great idea, but it's not impossible.
So what happens if I have the psychology 201, but I don't have 215, I have 237 instead, which is lifespan development through Shemeketa?
Then we would need to, I don't have it memorized if that's considered equivalent. So what you do is you send your official transcripts to the college and request that they do an official evaluation, and they make the official call. And then when we meet, have we met, Jasmine?
Yes.
And did we go over that?
No, we have not.
Okay. So usually what I'll do is I need to do just a little bit of research to find out if it's equivalent or not. I think that it is, but I don't want to, commit to that until I actually have the time to spend. So we'd want to let's check in about that after.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions? Okay. The other way you can get points, and we talked about this, is if you're a current CNA, or if you have an LPN license or a CMA, and you have been working 1,040 hours is what you need. Whoops. And that's equivalent to a year of full-time employment or 2 years of part-time employment. Also, if you have an associate's degree or a bachelor's in a non-science field, you can get 5 more points. If you have a bachelor's in life sciences or related, you can get 10 points. And then this is the 16 points that was asked about earlier. If you take your classes through TVCC or Oregon Coast, you can get up to 16 points. Okay. How's everybody doing?
I actually have a question.
Okay.
So would the credits that I got here at OCCC through PCC still count for points from last year?
Yes.
Okay. Because I know
Yes.
everything has recently changed and I wanted to make sure that that wouldn't mess me up.
Yeah, if you took them here at Oregon Coast, but they were transcripted through Portland Community College, then yes, it counts for that in the 16.
Okay, because I didn't see them on the website, so I wasn't sure on the homepage.
You didn't see.
Oh, my previous credits, it says that like the previous credits, I didn't see where to find them on
Okay.
my Oregon Coast.
Oh, okay. Yes. They're not in there.
Okay.
But I see them and we see them.
Oh, okay.
So, and when I send you your worksheet, I usually fill that in. So you might, I think I did yours and sent it to you, right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so just double check it, whether I put the 16 points in there or not.
Yeah, okay.
And if not, we'll fix it.
I'm pretty sure you must have because I didn't notice it before, but I just thought of it when I saw that last slide because
Okay.
I didn't think to check that.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's still doing okay? Okay, do you want to watch a short little video? Yeah, okay, we're gonna watch it, but basically, well, maybe we'll watch it. We'll see if it works. Maybe not.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say let's skip it because we're kind of over time already. So that is pretty much the presentation. We have recorded it, so I'll send that out to everybody whether you attended or not. And then the last slide has Crystal Bowman's contact information. She's the new director. And then Vicki Jones Briggs, who's the admin assistant, her contact information is there as well, and also mine. The only problem is that my computer is frozen. So I will just look for that contact information in the copy that I emailed to you. Does that work for you all? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for doing this.
Quick before you go, do you by chance know what the average points per application is? Like average local student supply, like what seems to be the average out of the 150 that people get accepted?
The average. I don't have an average, but I would say that you want to be 90 or above.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, thoughts? Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.